Okay, so this is the first data. All right. Now, before we begin, just to make sense about whatever that I'm going to share with you guys today, we need to know some of the basic of Excel, just to have look and feel and much more control. First, how many is the number of rows and columns you have in Excel? How many rows and columns do you have in Excel? Anyone who can answer? Yes, no, not sure, not sure. Oh, so when I press Control key and press the right arrow key, I should arrive at the end of the column. So as you can see, it's XFT, and XFT is 16,384. And when I press Control and down arrow key, I should be reaching the last row in Excel, which is 1048576. Means that in Excel we have more than 1.04 million. So that's how huge Excel is. Yeah. So why I leave this blank is just to share some of the quick basic on Excel. So this is called a cursor. That is a cursor. This is an active cell, because later I'll be using terms. So hopefully when I mention about all these terms, you know what it is. So when I double click, see this linking line, this one, that is called as an insertion point. This area is called as a ribbon. These are called tabs. The number below here called groups, and every single button is called a command button. All right. So when I apply this formula, when I multiply these two and I press enter, you know that you can double click yes. So what do you call this button? What do you call this? This is called the fill handle. So I can double click. Okay. So why conditional formatting? First, how to apply the conditional formatting. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select total. I select some more total. Okay. Then I go to conditional formatting. See this color scale? This is what conditional formatting is do. Notice that whenever you create a report for your boss, whenever you do an analysis, the boss will always ask about values. It is always about values. Yeah. But basically, when you ask about values, you tend to sort, tend to filter, and to get that result that you think that he or she wanted. But actually, if he or she were to look at the whole database, yeah, like this for instance, what they can see is not just colors, they can also see trend. So for instance, when I select this just now, and I go to conditional formatting, I go to color scales, see this? The varieties that Excel 2016 and above gives you. So you can see if this one is red, yellow, and also green, means the bigger the value, the more red it will become. The smaller the value, more greens it will become. So anything in between will be either orange or even yellow. Okay. So how can you relate these two values? For instance, if this is about debt. So how many people that have not paid the company, or those people who owe the company? So when the boss looks at this data, if he or she sees more red, I think their face will look red as well. Because they know that there's a lot of people not paid the money back to the company. If they see more green, then they say that's a good sign that most people are paying. Same goes if I were to select this one. Green, yellow, and
頭先老豆阿媽喺出邊度入搬入邊。 So when I do that, the more green it becomes, means the bigger the value. The smaller, the more it becomes, the smaller the value becomes. It is, sorry. Then, sorry. As for this one, conditional formatting, if I were to use color scale, if the boss doesn't really know what Excel conditional formatting is all about, if he or she were to see this, I believe they know what it is. It means that shows the bar chart, the trend. The bigger the value, the longer the bar becomes. The shorter means the smaller the value. And this is real time. Means that if I were to change this one to 40,000 plus, it becomes longer. So now it becomes automatic. Same goes on this side. If I were to select that one as well. See, I can also add in other rules. I could put in traffic lights. This is conditional formatting. This is how conditional formatting can assist you in doing your work. And a part of that, it can also assist you. Let's say if you'd like to find data. For instance, on this one, look at zone. If I were to ask you, how many types are there at zone? Basically, we will say 4. Why do you say 4? Because it shows 4 there, see that? Yeah, it shows 4. But is it really 4? Are you sure? See, how can we test this? How can we test this? See, in Excel, there's this feature. Look, when I press alternate and down arrow key, it can actually shows me the data. The varieties. See, when I do this, there are 3 types of west, east, sorry. There are 2 types of north, 2 types of south, and there's 1 west. What does that mean? It means that there's something wrong with the data. How can we prove that? We can prove it by using conditional formatting. Yeah. Number 1, can select like that, and I go to, let me zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole database. And I go to conditional formatting. See duplicate values? See that? Then you know there's something wrong with this data. Something is not right. So what you can do, you can just check. So for instance, let me go to this south and I double click. See that? There's a space there. So when I remove that space, then you know something is marginalized. You're getting the right answer. For instance, instead of north and ORTH, the data has been typed wrongly as NOTRH. So what I need to do is change that back. This one as well. And this one as well. Oh, there are 2 space bars, isn't it? So when I remove that, done. In case you don't need this anymore, so what you need to remove it, you have just select that area, then you go to clear rules and select from selected cells. That's it. You're done. So that's what you can do with conditional formatting.